Up, everybody? Just got done watching WWE Elimination Chamber. If you saw my predictions video, you saw my picks to win. Some of them came true, some of them didn't. Uh, Overall, though, I will say this before I get into the results of the show. Uh, I really enjoyed the show. I mean, it had its moments to where it's like I didn't really. It's like it kind of went down, but I think when it peaked, and when it went down, it's like it's like you're going to get that anytime you watch any type of show. It's like nothing. You always got to have those peaks and valleys, I guess. Uh, but let's get right on to the start of the action. The night started off with the pre-show. The cruiserweight title was on the line as Buddy Murphy defended against Akira Tozawa. What can I say about the cruiserweights? They always seem to deliver every time they're given a spot on the pay-per-view. Sadly, it's always on the pre-show for some reason, but they do always seem to deliver. In this match, this match was no exception and everything. Uh, if you see Buddy Murphy's work and everything, he is very highly underrated right now in the WWE and stuff. And what he's doing with the cruiserweight title, he is elevating that title. He's elevating almost every match he's in. Kiro Tozawa, he was very impressive in this match. However, on this night, he was not able to get the job done. Buddy Murphy does retain the cruiserweight title. My predictions, I said Buddy Murphy would retain. I don't look for him to lose, probably not till WrestleMania. If he does lose, and that would be on the big stage of WrestleMania. Uh, so Buddy Murphy, he gets to win. All in all, this match and stuff, it was the pre-show match, and I'm sorry to say, it's like I loved all the matches, but still, I'm going to give him I'm going to stick with what I said. After watching the pre-show match, the cruiserweight title match, Buddy Murphy and Akira Tozawa, was probably the match of the night as far as just in ring, what they did inside the ring and everything, and just everything. This was probably the match of the night for me. Number two would probably be probably the main event, and I'll get to that in a minute. Right out of the block, to start off the show, we had the inaugural crowning of the women's tag team champions. We know who was in it. We had Bayley and Sasha, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Carmella and Naomi, Nia Jax and Tamina, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, the Riot Squad. I said in my predictions video that if I was the booker, I would pick the Iconics to win. As a fan, I wanted to see Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan win. But in reality, we all know who was going to win this match, and it was going to be Bayley and Sasha Banks, and that is exactly who won the inaugural WWE Tag Team titles, or Women's Tag Team titles. Everybody is like knew as soon as they announced they was going to be bringing in women's tag team titles, we knew Bayley and Sasha was going to be the tag team champions. I was hoping that they would go a different direction and everything and throw everybody a curveball. They did not do that. Bayley and Sasha are your first ever, not first ever, but are your WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. I'm not going to use first ever because it's not the first ever tag team titles in the WWF, no matter what they say. But as a match in whole, I really did enjoy the match. It was a good opener to the main show. There's a few little botches in it. One thing I will say is like Tamina and Nia Jax, you could tell that the crowd in Houston, they did not want to see Tamina and Nia Jax win the tag team titles. Matter of fact, when they got eliminated, you could hear the fans saying goodbye and applauding and everything when they finally got eliminated. I'm sorry to say nobody really cares. I hope we don't get Tamina. Don't get me wrong, I ain't got nothing against Tamina and Nia Jax, but it's like I don't know. The way they work and everything, they're good in small doses. But I'm hoping we don't get them versus Bayley and Sasha at WrestleMania. I'm hoping they go a different direction. They probably won't. It probably will be that. But overall, it was a good match. It was a very solid match. Good opener. It's a good opener to kick off the show, crowning the inaugural women's tag team champions, crowning Bailey and Sasha as the champions. You can tell those two ladies and stuff, they were really humbled to be the champions. So good old proud of them. They have worked hard and everything to get to here, even though like everyone else, I would really like to see a heel Bailey. I guess we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer on that. Next up was the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles as the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, take on The Miz and Shane McMahon, who are defending their tag team titles. They won at the Royal Rumble by defeating The Bar. I know everybody hated on them winning the tag team titles, but honestly, I did not mind it. I really thought that Miz and Shane was going to retain here. Spoiler, the Usos are your new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. And like I said, this one threw me for a curveball. It was a good match. I figured it would be a good match. Say all the spots that they had in this match. Shane did the coast to coast. Then he went for it again. He gets super kicked out of midair. He hits the diving elbow. The Miz, he hits Jimmy with the skull crushing finale. Goes for a lackadaisical pin. Jimmy rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. New SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. So, as much as I didn't mind seeing The Miz and Shane McMahon as the Tag Team Champions. I guess you could say, from a wrestler standpoint, that I was right with the world, because on Raw, we have the Revival, a solid tag team as the Tag Team Champions, and on SmackDown, we got another solid tag team in the Usos as the Tag Team Champions. Honestly, I've said it in the past, I really wouldn't mind them seeing combined those two titles and having the tag team titles float on both shows. And then maybe bringing in like a secondary title, like in the old NWA days, have like a United States Tag Team Champion and a World Tag Team Champion, if you wanted to have separate titles, and have all the titles float on different shows. So I doubt they'd do that. But honestly, I would like to see, it's like, out there, it's like, who would not like to see the Revival versus the Usos at WrestleMania? The winner combines the titles into one title. Then the tag team division, just like the women's tag team division, would go both back and forth on both shows. That would be awesome, because, quite frankly, the tag team division on Raw right now, other than the Revival, is pretty much a joke. But moving on. Next matchup was the Intercontinental title match. It was a 2-on-1 match. Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush defending the Intercontinental title against Finn Balor. Excuse me for a minute. This match, in my predictions video, I predicted Bobby Lashley to retain due to something involving Lio Rush and everything, helping him win the match or something. Boy, was I wrong. Finn Balor does win the Intercontinental title here. However, he did not pin Bobby Lashley. He pinned Lio Rush. So your new Intercontinental Champion is Finn Balor. I guess this was his consolation, since not winning the Universal title at Royal Rumble, which we all knew wasn't going to happen anyhow. Would have been nice if we would have. But after the match, Bobby Lashley pretty much destroys Lio Rush with a one-handed choke slam, choke bomb, whatever you want to call it. Lays him out in the ring, so I guess that relationship's over with. It's going to be interesting to see where we go for here with Finn Balor and the Intercontinental title. What's going to be next? Are we going to get another match with him and Bobby Lashley at Fastlane? Where that's going to go. But anyway, Finn Balor, new Intercontinental Champion. Glad to see he finally won a title on the main roster. Well, won another title on the main roster. He is a former Universal Champion, but it's been a while since he's held any kind of gold. But let's see where they go from there with him, and see where they go from there with Bobby Lashley. I predict that Lio Rush is probably going to concentrate more on the 205 Live division. I think we're probably going to see a match between him and Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania for the Cruiserweight title, which should be an awesome match. Up next was, this one, I was disappointed in this one. I liked everything that happened afterwards, but I really wish they would have just not even did the match. But up next was the Raw Women's title. Ruby Riott versus Ronda Rousey, defending her Women's Championship. And what can I say? It was a squash match pretty much. Ruby got, I think, one offensive move in the entire match, and Ronda, she did the judo throws, hook armbar. Ruby taps out. Kind of hate to see that happen to Ruby Riott and everything. I'd like to see them do a little bit more with her. It did pay off in the end. Well, I mean, that didn't pay off. It didn't pay off for Ruby Riott. I don't know where the Riott squad's going to go from here. But as far as Ronda goes, Charlotte gets in the ring. They have a stare down. Coming out of the crowd, coming through the crowd, we have Becky Lynch on crutches. She gets in the ring. All three women stare each other down. And then Becky just goes ballistic. She beats the crap out of both Charlotte and Ronda Rousey with the crutch and just leaves them both. They're both Charlotte and Ronda are bloody after this. The security finally get Becky to leave the ring, and oh boy, I cannot wait to see where we go from here. It's like everybody's like they didn't want to see Charlotte and they didn't want to see a triple threat match or anything. But honestly, like I said, I think it's going to help. It helps sell that match more, and it helps sell Becky more as getting her massively over with the fans. I mean, the fans were just going crazy for Becky Lynch after she beat down both Ronda Rousey and Charlotte, and it's just, yeah, it's like when she wins the title, which I'm pretty sure she's going to win the title at WrestleMania. They're going to put her in that match. It will be a triple threat match. When she wins that title, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be all Daniel Bryan probably winning the WWE title back at WrestleMania 30 and everything. The reaction she's going to get probably might even be bigger. And honestly, I can't wait for it. But then all the air just got sucked out of the room when Baron Corbin's music just hit as Charlotte and Ronda were leaving. They got to quit doing that. They got to quit, as the wrestlers are leaving, they got to quit just playing the other wrestlers' music coming out. Because the fans, they booed Baron Corbin like crazy and everything. Nobody wanted to see this match, Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman. This is a match that could have been saved for Raw. They could have just scrapped this match entirely and actually gave Ruby and Ronda more time. That was the other thing I didn't like about it. They could have scrapped this match here, put it on Raw, and actually let Ruby Riott and Ronda Rousey actually have a full-length match and then had all the stuff happen afterwards and everything. But either way, it's what it is. We have Baron Corbin against Braun Strowman, no DQ match. These two, they went out there and they did. They beat each other up with weapons, tables. Braun puts Baron through a table in the corner. Drew McIntyre's music hits. Before he gets in the ring, he's got a steel chair when he comes out. Before he gets in the ring, Bobby Lashley's in the ring behind Strowman. He hits Strowman with the chair. Him and Drew, they work over. They beat down Strowman with chairs. In the end, they set up the steps, and then they set up two tables. Big triple power bomb on the Strowman. All of the Shield. They put him through both tables, and Baron Corbin wins the match because it was no DQ match. Baron Corbin wins the match, and then leaving Strowman, and Drew McIntyre standing tall. Let's see where this goes. Honestly, I don't really care. It's just another weak stable that we're going to have probably. Maybe they'll do something interesting. Maybe they will. I'm gonna keep my hopes up. Hopefully, we'll see something interesting come out of this. But I highly doubt it. But Baron Corbin does win the match. Beats Braun Strowman. I think I said in my predictions video that Strowman would win. I was wrong on that one. I picked Ronda to win, but I did not think that would be a squash match, like I said, if I didn't say who I picked to win on that one. Then before we had the main event, it was weird what happened next, because we had, I don't know what it seemed like they were stalling for time or doing something, but Lacey Evans' music comes on. She walks halfway down the ramp. She turns around. She leaves. Then we cut to the announcers. They should show they hype up the, I think, Fastlane next. Cut to a promo package for that. Cut to another promo package for something else. Then we finally get to our main event. I don't know if they was just stretching time or what they was doing. It was just very weird, especially the Lacey Evans part. I mean, I don't know what they was doing there. But either way, the main event was next. It was the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Daniel Bryan. Samoa Joe and Bryan did start the match. We know Randy Orton was coming in last. All in all, this was a very good match. The eliminations happened pretty quick. Samoa Joe was the first one eliminated, followed by Jeff Hardy, followed by AJ Styles, followed by Randy Orton. Kofi Kingston eliminating Randy Orton. So we're down to Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, and my God, the crowd in Houston was so wanting Kofi Kingston to win this match. It was crazy. It was like, and honestly, I thought for a minute that he was actually going to win. I really did. I said in my predictions video that it's like how they could not put the title on him and stuff. It's like if they do, it's like that would be so awesome. But I also said in my predictions video that Daniel Bryan would retain, and that is exactly what happened. But they made it. They did. They had you to scratch your head like, oh my God, is Kofi actually going to win this thing? I mean, it another phenomenal performance by Kofi and everything. You forget how good of a wrestler he really is. Another good performance turned in by him, especially after the performance he had on SmackDown. But it was not to be. Daniel Bryan, he hits the knee after Kofi misses a splash from the top of the pod. He hits the knee. 1, 2, 3. Daniel Bryan is still your WWE champion. I'm hoping, they could stretch this out to WrestleMania and everything, and we could. And I don't think no one would hate on seeing Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston in a one-on-one match at WrestleMania, and maybe getting the win there for Kofi. It's like, I think that match would deliver. I think it would also have a story behind it, especially with Daniel Bryan doing the whole save the earth thing and against consumerism, and the New Day being all about the consumerism, forcing like bootios and all this stuff on everybody. And I think the story's there to be told. Whether or not they'll do it, I don't know. I hope they do. I would like to see it. I would like to see a one-on-one match with more time. I mean, they got a lot of time on SmackDown, but I'd like to see a one-on-one match at WrestleMania on the Grand Stadium Hall. I think the story is there for this feud and everything, and for Kofi to win the WWE title at WrestleMania by defeating Daniel Bryan. The story sells itself. I would love to see it. Whether or not we're going to, who knows? Who knows where they're going to go with this? But there was no surprises on this night. No returns, no comebacks. I know a lot of people said that they was thinking maybe Bray Wyatt or Luke Harper was going to come in or something. But it didn't happen. Now, who knows if they had something planned for that, and then they changed it at the last minute thanks to Kofi and how over he got with the fans. Maybe they changed it at the last minute and did that. But either way, it was a solid match. I would have put it as my match of the night and everything. But like I said, I'm going to stick with my guns, and I'm going to say Buddy Murphy and Akira Tozawa and everything. It's like for them having to go out there first with a light crowd, people still falling into the arena. They had the fans going during their match, and they had everybody invested. They had me invested. It was a very good match. It was a good wrestling match. It had everything. It's like the main event, the Elimination Chamber match main event. That's my number 2 match of the night. Probably the one match, if I had to pick one, it's like as much as I did not care for Bear and Strowman and stuff, I gotta say Ruby Riott and Ronda Rousey and stuff, I'm just disappointed. It's like I was hoping to actually see a match, and I didn't get to see a match. That would probably be a negative for me on this night. Everything that happened afterwards with Becky coming in and beating both Ronda and Charlotte up with the crutches. That was awesome. But the match with Ruby, I wish they would have saved Baron Corbin and Strowman for Raw and just gave Ruby and Ronda more time and let them go out there and actually tell a story and actually have a match. I would have loved to have seen that more than having the Baron Corbin, Braun Strowman thing that we had. Save that for Raw. But overall, I do give Elimination Chamber a thumbs up. I hope you watched it. I hope you watched this video, this review of it. Let's see what happens tomorrow night on Raw. I'm Mark Allison. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.